DawgNation, and welcome into the third annual Chick-fil-a DawgBowl, where we are taking a bite out of Parkinson's and Crohn's. Welcome in, everyone. I'm Kaylee Mansell with Mike Griffith. I believe we have the team entering as we speak. Current players, former dogs, a ton of special guests, all in support of Mark Richt and his granddaughter, Jadyn. Mike, we've waited all year for this. What does it mean to you to come out here and be able to support Coach Richt?
Well, I mean, it's a one-of-a-kind of event. You're not going to find this anywhere else in the country. You know, the fact that Kirby Smart bringing these players out here, they want to win the belt. They want to win the bowling balls. They want to show out. They're going to compete with each other, and they're going to have a little bit of fun. You know, it's a bye week. I think Kirby likes the camaraderie that's developed, and like you said, it's for a great cause to represent Parkinson's disease, Crohn's disease. Coach Richt had this vision, and really proud that we've been able to help, you know, show everyone what's going to happen tonight. People that are watching, they're going to have a great time. Brandon Adams is going to be on the show. Lots of guests, as you pointed out, and obviously Coach Richt here as well, really basking in the glory of this tremendous event.
Yeah, we're encouraging everyone to donate tonight. You can do that by either going to richtsdawgbowl.com. There's also a link underneath all of our shows, or if you're watching on your television, you can scan on that QR code to help out with the Parkinson's and Crohn's, and it all goes to the Isaacson Center here at the University of Georgia. You mentioned the belt. We've actually got them behind us. So the winning team, they will all get a belt, as well as the highest individual winner, and then, of course, the celebrity champion going to the player with the highest score now, the player with the highest score the last 2 years, Warren Brinson, back-to-back. Mike, if you had to put money on any of these players to take home that belt tonight, who would it be?
Well, you got to go with Gunnar Stockton, don't you?
Oh,
I mean, he's hot right now. I mean, can anybody beat Gunnar Stockton at anything? I just feel like Gunnar's going to come through with 3 strikes in the final frame. Whatever he needs to get, if he needs to get 198, he'll get 199. If he needs 234, he'll get 235. So I'm going to go with Gunnar Stockton, maybe a mild upset, because there's a lot of film study this time of year.
Okay.
But he's just such a clutch athlete. And like you said, he comes from a small town, so it's a good bet that he's probably bowled before.
I like that. I'm going to make a quick bet. He's actually bowling with our DawgNation team tonight. That's wide receiver Sokovie White. I know that he's from a small town. I'm going to give my best guess to Sokovie. Now, obviously, we've got a lot going on behind us. You can see Coach Richt himself. For those that couldn't attend the event tonight, what would you tell them about this event?
Well, I think it's great that Coach Richt recognized that the Parkinson's disease and Crohn's disease.
Forget your outfit.
Excuse me.
But wherever you come out here. All right, I need Dr. K and Arthi. Are y'all here?
Yes.
Where are they at? Dr. K and Arthi. Could y'all make your way to the middle of this sign, please? What we're going to do is hand out a check for the Neurological Center, the Isaacson Center for Neurological Disease Research on campus at Georgia. And I want to present a check to them, which is only, this check represents what everybody donated for this event right here. And then there'll be some more online giving for the next couple days. And usually that adds another 100, 150,000 historically. But the check here is, again, to the, I guess they call it the Coach Richt Neurological Disease Research Fund. And I want to give you, come over here, Dr. K, and Arthi, his wife. Here's your check.
Oh, thank you.
For a half $1,000,000.
Oh, thank you.
Of course, that check going to the Isaacson Center for Neurological Diseases right here in the heart of Athens. So amazing to know that money goes back to the university.
God bless America. Thank you. I know you guys have put it to good use.
Yes. Thank you. We always.
All right, now I got to figure out what's next. Is Colin ready yet? I didn't give Colin enough lead time.
He says he's good.
Colin's ready?
Yep.
Hey gang, we're gonna play the national anthem. There is a flag right here on this far wall. And after that, I'll give a couple rules and regs and we'll pray and we'll play. Okay, everybody listen up. First of all, I want to welcome everybody and thank you all for coming. I want to thank our sponsors for what y'all have done for us. It just means so much towards this project. Coach Smart, thank you so much. UGA players, God bless you guys and thank you for coming. There's some former players here too. I appreciate y'all coming. And I almost forgot my family. Everybody's working tonight, trying to make this thing happen. And of course, Dr. K, we just gave you the check. So now we're going to cover the rules real quick. Just so you know, in order to win these belts, there's 5 belts for the winning team. 4 are the bowlers and a celebrity bowler, which is a player. So in order to win this thing, it's got to be a 5-person team, 1 celebrity bowler, and the other 4. The highest 1 game total pins will win the championship belts. As you make your scores, there's going to be scorekeepers around, okay? And don't erase your score before going to the next game or it won't count. All right, so make sure your scorekeeper sees your score before you go to the next game. Also, the highest one game total pins for the male winner will get an award, and a female winner will get an award. And we added a new one for of all the Georgia players, whoever bowls the highest game is going to get a championship belt. So that's a new one. And then if you finish early and people are still bowling, just keep bowling and having a good time until it's time to hand out the awards. With that, Kevin, Chappie, you here? I'm asking Kevin Hines, better known as Chappie, to pray for the night. And then Colin will play the battle hymn, and then we'll start bowling.
All right. Let's pray. Father in heaven, we just pause to acknowledge you, to acknowledge our need for you, to thank you, Lord, for this day, for this is the day that you have made. So we are rejoicing and we are glad in it. Father, we just thank you, Lord, for Jesus. We thank you that there is a way that we may be right and justified, and that is through the blood of the Lamb that was slain for the sin of the world. Holy Spirit, we pray that you'd come through tonight and just minister to us and strengthen us and help us to look to you, Father. For your word tells us that the Lord is good, a refuge in times of trouble. He cares for those who trust in him. Father, help us to care, help us to trust, and help us to follow you. Father, let us have a wonderful night of fellowship. Thank you for Chick-fil-A, the food, the supply, just everybody that's participating, everybody that's given, Lord, above and beyond. Father, we're just grateful and we're very thankful for you. But Lord, just bless our time now when we pray all this in the glorious and good name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, Colin, hit it.
An absolutely beautiful rendition of the battle hymn of the Bulldog Nation. And with that, we are underway with the 3rd annual Chick-fil-A DawgBowl here tonight in Athens, Georgia, raising money for Crohn's disease research, Parkinson's disease research, and obviously the tremendous work that the Isaacson Center is doing here at the University of Georgia. We'll have a chance to walk up and down these aisles tonight. We'll see a lot of Georgia players bowling, obviously putting on great feats. Throughout the night, we'll hear from Coach Richt, we'll hear from Kirby Smart, and so many of the other special dignitaries who are here. What a night it's going to be. In fact, why don't we step out this way and we'll come over and we'll get a chance to sort of work our way down here a little bit and see everything that's going to go on here.
Thank you, Luke. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Let's give you an idea of what we're recording out here. The brand new Chick-fil-A Dog Bowl belts. Winning team's going to get a chance to take these home. Someone's going to win these beautiful Georgia-themed bowling balls. It's that kind of night and that kind of amazing thing here tonight. So big-time prizes on the line. And, of course, the Chick-fil-A Dog Bowl shirts look amazing, too. If we can, in the midst of this crowd and this throng, we're trying to move our way this way. We'll see the DawgNation set up, and we'll see a lot of these Georgia folks here getting ready to go. How about George Foster in the house tonight, the great former Dog? Can we say hello to you right now, George?
What's up?
First of all, it's great to have you here, and obviously in celebration of Coach Richt. What does Coach Richt mean to you?
Oh, man. Coach Richt is responsible for the only championship I have on any level, which is the SEC championship. Forever indebted to him. I'm here to support him. Really great person. You pull up out there and there's nowhere to park, literally. You might have to park on the street if you came in after me. So that shows you how many people love him.
We know you just got here. You want to fellowship with some folks, but how much fun are you having watching this Georgia team right now? Great win against Ole Miss on Saturday, going into this bye week now, really kind of right where they wanted to be. How much fun has this team been to watch?
They're gritty, man. They're really gritty, and I'm enjoying watching them. They're tough. I trust Gunner a lot, you know what I mean, because he has that it. You know what I mean? I know you understand what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
He has the it that a lot of guys don't have. He's the type of guy that when it's on the line, you know that he's going to do something to, make you better.
You're a good man. It's great to get a chance to talk to you.
All right, good.
Enjoy the night, all right?
No doubt.
Great to see George Foster there, terrific former Georgia offensive lineman. We'll work our way through here, and we'll see what everybody's kind of got going on. As George was saying, you look around the room tonight, you see an incredible crowd. And you also see Kirby Smart doing what he does so well, interacting with some of the young folks who are here, signing autographs, sharing his time. It's a very different side of Coach Kirby, but one that he puts on display in such a nice in such a nice way in an event like this. Great thing to be able to see. We'll hear from Kirby Smart throughout our time here tonight. Over here, you're going to see Brett Thorson, Ryan Puglisi. Last year, Ryan Puglisi actually bowled with the DawgNation team. A little bit different tonight. There's Cole Spear, who's obviously one of the special teams demons for Georgia. Terrific wide receiver as well. How about the freshman defensive lineman, Elijah Griffin? You want to get a good look up close and personal about the kind of size he's bringing to the table here right now. That's what that's all about. Also, how about fun interactions over here? Is Dalen Everett's taking some time to sign autographs. That's a great thing to be able to see. Georgia Bulldogs here. We're getting ready to get going and get ready to have some tremendous bowling action taking place. So this year, and by the way, how about the Chick-fil-A cow on hand there as well? You love that. One of the most recognizable mascots you're ever going to see anywhere. Everybody loves the Chick-fil-A cow. That's a great thing to be able to see. And by the way, we appreciate the folks from Chick-fil-A being a part of the 3rd annual Chick-fil-A Dog Bowl. And by the way, Chick-fil-A been instrumental in helping us raise money. We're going to invite you tonight to do the very same thing. If you go to this website, it's ricksdawgbowl.com. A dog, of course, spelled D-A-W-G. ricksdawgbowl.com. You can give tonight to help us raise towards our goal of $700,000 for the Isaacson Center, doing neurological research, looking for better remedies, eventually a cure for Parkinson's disease, Crohn's disease. That's a big part of what tonight is all about. And if you're watching live on video right now or on demand later, you'll also see that QR code on your screen. You can check that out there. You can click that. Amazing technology, and you can be a part of the giving tonight. I know Coach Richt, who we'll hear from before it's over, I know Coach Richt will be personally thrilled to have your participation in all of that. All right, we'll keep moving our way over this way. We'll get a look at what's going to go down here. Everybody having a good time here tonight. By the way, you want a good shot at the check that was passed out a little earlier. Already giving out $500,000. Already giving $500,000 out here right now. And by the way, let's bring in right now, if we can, one of the guys that's helped make all of this, certainly the festivities we're seeing here possible. It's Coach Kirby Smart. Coach, it's always a thrill to get to talk to you at this event. It's fun to see your players in a relaxed situation. What does it mean to you to be able to come out and help Coach Richt towards his goal of raising this money for research?
Well, it's great for me. It's great for our players to get to interact with people in this community. I love Coach Richt. I love what he stands for. I love what he did for this community. I love what he's doing for Crohn's and what he's doing for Parkinson's. I've been touched in my family by Parkinson's, so the fact that he even has this event and he's able to make awareness and raise money and help fight this cause, our players love it. I mean, I don't even have to just say, hey guys, anybody want a bowl? And they all raise their hand, so they love it.
Well, it's one of the things that I love being able to show to our audience on video is the connection that the Georgia football family has, overlapping coaching staffs. Your players feel that way about Coach Richt. His former players obviously feel that. Hey, can you believe that right here? How about
get some money for this event? I'm telling y'all right now, we need to get it up. I just watched this man hand $500,000 check to a great cause. So we need to keep it coming in, keep it rolling in, DawgNation. Nobody better. Besides, he's on the ACC network, so I don't like that.
Good to see you.
Coach Richt couldn't say anything better, right?
That's right.
No, it's great to see you. So as we were saying, like, just to see the connection the Georgia football family has with each other, you know, for our audience to see this on video, I think that's a special thing for them to be able to see, and I'm sure that's something you're also proud of as well.
So proud. We told our players, you're going to be on live DawgNation. They all got their hair right. They got their jerseys on. You know, they want to get cleaned up. They're looking for a job op or an NIL op.
Well, how about the fact also, something we hear you talk about a lot as an alumnus of this school, the fact that it's the Isaacson Center that's really doing so much of this research. Georgia has great athletics. We know that on DawgNation. That's what we talk about. But the university is also, you know, doing these huge research initiatives. How proud does it make you to know that a lot of the forefront of study is happening right there on the campus in Athens?
Yeah, anything that says Isaacson on it is pretty impressive. For what he's done for our state, our university, he's one of the best to ever do it. So I love all the things we've got going on within our university. A lot of our players aren't even aware of the research and development that's done, but we've got many, many things going on at our university that I know President Moorhead's really proud of.
And obviously we'll let you go on this, but when you look around, you see your players, you know, and they're still practicing, working hard, but it is an off week. It's a chance to maybe pull back, hopefully at least a little bit. How much fun is it for you to see maybe a more relaxed version of themselves than obviously they're going to be during the grind of a very long season?
Yeah, it's great. It's great for them to see me in that environment as well. So it goes both ways. These guys get to relax and enjoy themselves this weekend, but tonight and today's a special day.
Well, we see you give of your time. We see how kind you are. All the people are here. We appreciate you doing it. We appreciate you setting a good example for their players. They obviously make it fun. So on behalf of everybody at DawgNation, thank you so much for being a part of this. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank y'all for the coverage. I mean, everybody out there watching, this is an awesome event. If you can find a way to contribute or come to it, you would love it.
Coach Smart, enjoy the rest of the night.
Thank you. Go Dogs.
Ready to get a chance to speak to the Georgia coach, Kirby Smart, right there. Obviously, great stuff. And as he said, encouraging you to give and be a part of this. Go to ricksdawgbowl.com or click the QR code. You can be in there, be a part of that. An incredible thing to be able to see. We'll keep it moving here right now. And by the way, how about camera inception here for a moment? Our camera, Cody Chafin's camera. What happens when you aim two cameras at each other? We may be about to find out here in just a little bit. That's fun to be able to see. So let's come down here. We'll show you the DawgNation lane. Of course, you see Mike Griffith hanging out and enjoying some Chick-fil-A. You love to see that. And how about with our folks from DawgNation tonight? We got Sokovie White, the pride of Bartow County, Georgia, and Cass High School. Sokovie White getting ready to bowl. Let's see if we can see Sokovie right here on the lane right now. Sokovie going left-handed with the bowl and knocking down 9 pins on his first attempt there.
That's our MVP right there, MVP.
Quite a roll by Sokovie White. All right, let's Coach Richt's here.
Hey, everybody in lane 1, team pitcher.
Oh, thank you.
So what's about to happen right now is Coach Richt with a lot of our folks from DawgNation. We got folks from Jittery Joe's. We got folks from Serve Pro here tonight. They're going to gather around with Sokovie White and Mark Richt. Going to get a chance to get their picture taken here. What a nice night this is. Obviously, our friend Faraday you hear a lot about. Jonathan from Dr. Pepper's here tonight. So, photo going to come here right now. So you hear us talk about Dr. Pepper, Serve Pro, Jittery Joe's, all on hand here for this right now. Great picture. Great interaction there between Mark Richt and Sokovie White. You love to be able to see that. By the way, how good do the DawgNation bowling shirts here look one more time? Always great to be able to see that.
Let's go, DawgNation.
Let's go, DawgNation, indeed. And, of course, over here, get a chance to see Sokovia going again, trying to pick up the spare. Not quite able to connect on that, but we're guessing there's going to be a lot more of that from Sokovia way before the night is done. I learned something new tonight. I didn't realize that Sokovia was left-handed. I learned something new tonight, so that's a good thing to be able to see. You got Oscar Delp over here. We'll get a chance we can see some more bowling going on over here. You see KJ Bolden right over there. KJ obviously having a good time. We'll see if we can get a chance to see Dr. K, obviously. He's out there as well. You got Cass Jones. Cass Jones hanging out, having a good time. Incredible crowd on hand here. Here's Ethan Barbour. Obviously, Ethan's freshman season cut short because of an ankle injury. You'll see he's got the boot on here right now. But obviously, you love to see him up and moving around and able to be out here tonight. That's a great thing to be able to see. We obviously wish him well as he goes through his recovery process. Rolling our way through here right now. Former players on hand. You see another look at Kirby Smart over there working with the crowd, having a good time over there. How about Zachariah Branch here right now?
And do what? Show us.
Zachariah obviously very quickly become a popular fan favorite around the Georgia program. Dalen Everett, Elijah Griffin, a bunch of Georgia folks here on hand right now. You got Colton Heinrich getting ready to bowl over there. How about Elias Williams getting ready to roll too? 6'7", a couple of lanes over, getting ready to do his thing here. Let's see if we can see Dalen Everett get ready to roll here. Throughout the night, we'll continue to hear from former players. We'll hear from Mark Richt a little bit later on. There's Ryan Puglisi. Ryan just rolled. I wonder if Ryan's got a second roll coming up. We can see Ryan again. Last year, Ryan was on our DawgNation team. Georgia Bulldogs in the house. Raylan Wilson, Elias Williams right over there. Here's David Pollock. I wonder if we can track down David Pollock here. Let's see if David got a couple minutes for us. All right, so David's about to roll. Can we talk to you after that? Is that cool? Awesome, appreciate that. We'll get a chance to hear from David Pollock here coming up in a moment. You got
Nate said you blinded him and you messed up his bowling.
You know what, Nate? You can use us as an excuse there for that. So we've already been blamed by Nate Frazier tonight. You'd think he'd be ready for the bright lights.
All right, Noah's up.
All right, let's watch Noah Thomas here. Nice smooth delivery by Noah. Going right side.
Yeah, he told him, I'm like, listen, if you don't want to win, don't bowl. Like, we're here to win.
Exactly. Listen,
He made it very clear.
I've seen you compete in everything throughout the years, whether it be pickup basketball, table tennis, whatever else. If you're playing to win.
We should play to win. That's called life.
Exactly right. Well, let's watch Noah Thomas see if he can pick up this spare here. So he's got the middle pins available to him. Noah, once again, nice and smooth. He's got a chance. And
He did that twice in a row.
so Noah stops just short of picking up the spare right there. A little bit similar to what we saw from Sokovia White a little earlier. Now David Pollock, who I'm guessing is at least going to throw it hard. Nice spin from David. Oh my gosh. This is not your first time bowling.
No, absolutely.
You got the spin going and everything else.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm a loser. I used to have my own bowling shoes and stuff back in the day.
That doesn't make you a loser. That's a nice little spin, nice little roll. Very impressive.
Thank you.
So what does it mean to you? Obviously, this is our third year getting a chance to do this, and to see the support that Coach Richt gets, the former players who show up, the way the current players seem to get involved in all this. It's a very fellowship, festive atmosphere. What does it mean to you personally?
Well, it's freaking fun. I mean, you very rarely get to, be around all these guys up close and personal. First of all, it makes you feel very small because these kids are way bigger than we are. Now, George Foster, he holds his own. Big Fizzle is kind of.
You're also a lot smaller now than you were when you're playing.
Yeah, but no, I mean it's fun for you got the new generation, you got a lot of the old heads, but everybody can unify behind. First of all, a good person, Coach Richt, who everybody's, again, I say it every year, but if it's in Afghanistan, I'll show up. And so will all these guys. Some guys, Russ Tanner, still putting his hands in people's mouths. And so I think, and then a great cause. Obviously, you start to see him fighting, and it's not fun to see your coach struggle, but not surprisingly, he's struggling well.
I'll tell you this, though. The last couple of times I've seen him, I've been so impressed with just how much energy he's had. And honestly, he's set an example with everything he's ever done in his life. And I don't know that you can be more courageous going through what he's going through than what Coach Richt is. He's still, obviously to me, the same Coach Richt he's always been in terms of the way that he lights up the room and makes whoever he's talking to, he finds a way to make that person feel special, and I love the fact that that's what you still see from him.
Yeah, now his body isn't what it was, and that's what's frustrating. I think that's what's frustrating for him and all of us, because it's a terrible disease. It's not fun, and that's why we're raising money to find a cure.
Absolutely. So we'll let you go on this. With the football team, get the big win against Ole Miss on Saturday. How nice is it for them to come here and enjoy this event off week, knowing they're really right where they want to be for everything that can happen the rest of the season? That's a pretty good feeling too, is it not?
It's got to be a great feeling, and I think if you're a fan, you're going, okay, I'm seeing growth, especially offensively. Like offense, it goes from being average, maybe the weakness of the team, to now all of a sudden taking strides. Winning close games, no flinch. I'm still going to call this team what I've called them since the Tennessee game. They're Rocky Balboa. They got to taste blood, and then when they taste blood and walk forward, they're good. Like, I'm interested to watch the defense and how they evolve. You got a bye week. You need to change. You need to morph a little bit and continue to grow and get better. But the resilience to win, Gunner playing the way he is, now this squad's in the top 5, top 6, looking like a team that can go on and make a playoff and make a run.
All right, after that strike, we saw I want at least 200 from you tonight. At least 200.
I'll get you 200. I can do that.
Good stuff there from David Pollock. Here tonight, a part of the 3rd annual Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl. Go to ricksdawgbowl.com, QR code. You can give tonight, be a part of this meeting there of a couple of former offensive linemen, Russ Tanner, George Foster. That's going on. We got Kirby Smart right here. Let's see if we can slide around this way, and we'll see if we can sneak around, make our way out. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good stuff with Brett Thorson there. Yeah, he's hanging out, having a good time. We'll see if we can talk to John Stinchcomb.
You work in the crowd, BA?
You know what? I am. That's what I do. I go through here. I slide through here. I get it all done. Are you not bowling tonight?
I'm a rotational bowler.
Okay.
If they need me, it's like a pinch hitter.
You're a depth piece.
That's it. Right.
We saw
more like a specialist BA. I don't know about depth piece.
We saw one of your former teammates, David Pollock, just bowled a strike, and not only did he bowl a strike, he also gave it the spin.
Did he? Yeah. Well, we've got some athletes in the house, not just ones wearing jerseys. Although George Foster brought his own jersey.
I did see that, yeah.
That's nice. But
by the way, George looks like he still blocks some folks.
I don't want to get in his way.
You don't really look like an offensive lineman anymore.
Well,
but
thank you, BA.
no, I mean, I'm just saying you're not as big as you were when you're playing. But George could still get it. He can still, give you a kick step if he.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think you're getting past him. If we're running like the tush push, I want to get behind that guy because you're not knocking him back anytime soon.
We were also saying this to David a moment ago. This show is so much fun to do. Last year, just after beating Texas, this year after a thrilling win against Ole Miss, that adds a lot of energy to that. I mean, selfishly, I'll admit, it adds a lot of energy to the room when you're doing this after a big win.
Oh, that's for all things, right? You win and everything's better, including
the entire economy of Athens just gets a nice boost on the heels of a win.
The smiles, the laughter, you got better questions, everything's great when you win.
Well, John, I'm going to let you enjoy it. Always great to hear from you, and great to see so many of your former teammates here having a good time. Hope you enjoy the evening.
Appreciate it. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs indeed. Good stuff there from John Stinchcomb. We're going to go over here. Sorry to get so close. We're going to go over here and talk to Josh Brooks, Georgia Athletic Director, on hand here right now. Obviously a guy that we love. Josh, great to hear from you and great to have you tonight with the Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl. When you look around, you see current players, former players, Georgia fans and boosters, donors to this great cause. As someone who's as tied into the University of Georgia as you are, how nice is it to see this community all gathered here together tonight?
It's really nice, and it's so cool to see people from Georgia athletics, Georgia football, from different generations all come together under one roof. It's really neat. I was just talking to Sean Chappis and Fred Munzemeyer. They were athletes here when I first started in 2008. So to think about 17 years ago, we were in this bowling alley when Coach Richt first started doing the bowling with the team. And just to see them now with little kids and all that is pretty cool.
And what's funny is we've almost come full circle because we've seen some fullback on the, at least some fullback oriented stuff on the field here this year. So it's almost like we're coming full circle with some of that.
I told both of them, they said, some of the fullback said, that's like a dinosaur, right? Does a fullback even exist? I've seen footprints of
all we got to do is we got to bring back the neck roll, and we got to bring back the Quavon Hicks face mask, the one that looks like a Lincoln Navigator grill. We got to bring that back.
Some good old elbow pads, like old school. Yeah.
We got to be able to do that too. And look, one of the things I love, Josh, about putting this on video is the fact that for our audience, and this is understandable, they know these players as figures they see on a TV screen or small dots way down the field. But when you're here and you watch the interaction, you see that they're real people, that Coach Smart's a real person, that you're a real person, that the other coaches, they're all real people, and they form a bond together that's private among them. But when you see some of this on video, you realize how deep the roots of a university community really run.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that you wish you could share more, but it's hard in today's world. But I've got 550 student athletes, and they're all great kids. And when you get to know them, it's so much more fun rooting for them. And you got to remember, whether we're talking about tennis or football, baseball, basketball, we're talking about 18 and 20-year-olds. So I always tell people, give them a little grace when they drop a pass, when they miss a kick, whatever it is, because Lord knows neither one, we wouldn't want to be judged on the 18-year-old version of ourselves. I surely wouldn't. So.
I don't want to be judged by what I did 18 minutes ago, much less when I was 18 years old. A couple more minutes here. Obviously, throughout the years, especially recently in the new era that we live in, we've seen players use their fame to help raise money for various causes. The Georgia Athletics program in general is very serious about that. When you see all this tonight marshaled in the direction of Parkinson's disease research, Crohn's disease research, all of this coming via the Isaacson Center, how proud does that make you to know that the big platform that Georgia Athletics provides can also be used for good in this way?
Extremely, and especially the tie-in with the Isaacson Foundation. His granddaughter is actually on our swim team, Elizabeth. So when you see all those things come full circle, it's so amazing. It's such a great cause, and these are things that are important. And to think about, this is our bye week. This is a week where the guys have a little free time, and they're taking a night of free time to come give back into the community, and that's really special. You can't say enough things about it, and enough thank you to our team and Coach Smart to all be a part of this.
This is not a night for football, but I will say this. Fourth quarter Saturday, the entire game, but the fourth quarter especially, as loud as it's ever been. That venue was so much fun, such a big win, everybody just coming together. I know how much work goes into the game day to make it what it is. How much fun is it for you? How much of a personal source of pride is it for you and your staff when it all culminates the way that it did? 17-0 the fourth quarter, 93,000 people, their voice all sounds like mine. How much fun is that when it all comes together that way?
It really is really satisfying because there's so many people whose names you'll never know, who put so much time in starting in the offseason, planning every home game, every detail. What can they do better? From fireworks to light shows to the wristbands to everything they put in. And, there's so many things out of your control, from the weather to the game. And when it all comes together like that, and you have a Chamber of Commerce day, and the game is back and forth, and then you dominate the fourth quarter, and the crowd erupts.
Got louder as the game went.
Yeah, and to finish like that, the team finishing strong in the fourth, the fans finish, it was really just a culmination of it all. And you only get so many home game opportunities a year, and that's definitely a special one that I'll never forget.
Well, as we say goodbye to you, I know basketball started practice. Give us an idea of what's kind of coming next as it relates to UGA athletics.
Well, one thing I want to hit on is we're having one of the best falls we've ever had. If you think about it, right now our soccer program is 3rd in the SEC. Our volleyball program is 5th in the SEC. Our cross-country men's team is ranked in the top 20. We have a chance to have one of the best falls we've ever had when you look at all sports combined. And I know, football is the main thing that drives the engine, but
huge crowd for volleyball the other night.
Great crowd, 10K day. So when you think about that, and that's setting the tone for all the other sports, I am really fired up. This has to be a chance. This has a chance to be one of our best years ever in terms of all sports in the Learfield Cup. So I'm really, really fired up.
Well, congratulations on that. It's great to talk to you. Thanks for being here tonight, and thank you for just allowing DawgNation to be a part of what's obviously a great night for a great cause.
Got it. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs, indeed. Great stuff there. Josh Brooks, University of Georgia Athletic Director. Great to get the chance to speak with him. We'll keep rolling here and get a great look. You got Jordan Hall, Monroe Freeling right here. How about Gunnar Stockton right here? why don't we hang out and see if we can see some of these guys bowling? Nate Frazier said we put the lights in his face, so he wasn't happy about that. You got C.J. Allen over there. What a year C.J. Allen is having. Obviously instrumental in that game against Auburn a couple of weeks ago. By the way, if you want to get an idea of what the back of a left tackle looks like in the SEC, how about that right there? That's how come the blind side stays protected, because those big, broad shoulders making all that happen. All right, we got C.J. Allen, Jordan Hall. Jordan Hall slings it. My goodness. You talk about velo. Oh, you know about velo from Jordan Hall right there. Oh, how about Rennie Curran? We'll watch the bowling right here and get a chance to see Rennie Curran. Rennie, you could go out and play right now. You look great. How you doing?
Hey, good. I was just telling Kirby that. I'm like, man, if you need some extra snaps, I got, a few left in me. So
whatever,
man.
Listen, whatever your secret is, you could do an infomercial, you could bottle it and sell it, whatever it is. That's awesome to see. And I know what Coach Richt means to you.
Yeah.
What's it like to be here tonight and be with him?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, not only, just to see Coach Richt, but to see everybody. I mean, it's a big reunion. Feels like, not just feels like, we are a family, and that's one thing that's special about Georgia football. If you're a recruit that's watching it, like, this is real. The brotherhood, whether it's coming together for a good cause or just, mentorship, whatever it is, like Coach Richt, man, to be able to support him and see everybody is just awesome.
Well, what I love about it is, I didn't play college football, but I played sports growing up, and all of us in some form or fashion did that. The best friends you'll ever have are your teammates. The funniest stories you remember are things that happen in a locker room amongst your guys, and to see that big-time college football essentially functions the same way, I think that's awesome, that the bonds are so deep, they run as intensely as they do. I think for our audience, they love seeing the fact that all these guys come back together and they still enjoy hanging out with each other as much as they do.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, it's not just the players, man. It's like our administrative staff, like Miss Ann, all the chaplain, like the whole entire UGA community. That's what makes it special, man. That's what makes UGA special. I just drove all the way from Alpharetta after a 3-hour workshop just to be here. That tells you how special it is to me, and it's the same with all the other guys. I mean, it's really, really awesome to be a part of, and I'm just so happy for Coach Richt. He's been through a lot, just trying to bounce back, maintain himself. So to be able to see him here, him being happy, man, it's really, really special. So
a lot of folks, I think, know, Rennie's an outstanding motivational speaker and business trainer and coach, and obviously gives of his time that way. That's a lot of fun, right?
Oh, yeah, I love it, man. And a lot of the things that I talk about as far as being a motivational speaker, going out, working with companies, organizations, associations, the leadership, the teamwork, the mindset, culture, it all started right here at UGA. A lot of the lessons I learned, both good and bad, in the NFL. So, man, it's, like I said, a special place. I learned a lot from Coach Richt, just to see what a good leadership is, see what building the culture looks like, and same thing with Kirby. So it's just awesome to be able to take that and apply it now to organizations and associations as well.
Rennie, we're big fans of yours. I hope you enjoy the night. It's great.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Great stuff there. Rennie Curran, terrific former Georgia linebacker. You love to be able to see that. We got Gunnar Stockton right over here, C.J. Allen. I mean, you talk about rubbing elbows with stars. Incredible stuff right here when it comes to those guys hanging out, having a good time on hand here tonight. We're going to try to see if we can see these guys bowl a frame or two. That's always great to be able to see. How about Lawson Lucky, fresh off his 3-touchdown performance? He's right here. Drew Bobo there too. The report was that Drew may snap the bowling ball between his legs to send it towards the pins. I don't know if we'll see that tonight or not. Of course, I say that kiddingly. So great stuff here. Great stuff here right now. We'll hang out here for a moment and see if we can see maybe Gunnar bowl in just a second. Of course, this is a special night for a lot of the donors who are here, who get the awesome opportunity to be around these Georgia players, and they give of their time. So nice to be able to see that. Obviously, the Georgia Bulldogs here helping raise money for a great cause. We're going to encourage you to give to that cause tonight. You can click the QR code. You can see that. Or go to the website, ricksdawgbowl.com. Looks like Lawson Lucky's about ready to bowl. Fresh off a 3-touchdown performance on Saturday. Let's watch Lawson get ready to do it here tonight. Lawson's looking for his ball. Lawson's going to send it. Working the right rail. Listen, after a 3-touchdown game, we're going to give Lawson plenty of grace on all of that. You see C.J. Allen coaching him up. We'll see Lucky go again. Keep in mind, the spare is still in play for Lawson. Pride of Norcross High School here. Second generation Georgia player. How about this one right down the middle? Pretty good roll there for Lawson Lucky. C.J. Allen there to clap for him and show him a little celebration appreciation. You got Q Johnson right over there as well. Georgia outside linebacker. Boy, how about some velocity from Q Johnson? That's something to be able to see. We're going to see C.J. Allen get his role right now, too. Here comes C.J. Allen, Georgia linebacker. Got the sleeves pulled up. C.J. essentially bounced it. C.J.'s trying to get the spin roll going. We'll see C.J. get ready to do this again. C.J. not going fingers in the ball. Instead, going to try to get the spin. Probably going to get that wrist on around, probably, in order to be able to do that. But listen, CJ's having a great season. How about right here? We'll eavesdrop a little bit as a legendary former Georgia quarterback, David Greene, spending some time talking to the current quarterback, Gunnar Stockton. Obviously, we're big fans of David Greene. Wonderful to be able to see he and Gunnar enjoying their time together here right now. Great to be able to see that. You got time for us for a second? How about David Greene here right now? Good to see you. The great former Georgia quarterback. And how much fun is it to get a chance to see Gunnar tonight? And obviously Gunnar's great because we've already seen him. He's talking to people. He's hanging out. He's like right in the middle of it. You'd never know this is the starting quarterback. This is a guy that just had basically a historic day against Ole Miss. Down to earth as you're ever going to get.
He's as humble as they come. That's what, yeah, even when you see him after a game, these electric games, and they get, at the end and they interview him, he's like, well, it's a great environment. He kind of gives you all that.
He really is like two different guys, right?
Well,
the energy on the field where it's like this incredible firestorm of, everything that Georgia needs. But after the game, he'd just be more than happy to kind of blend into the scenery.
Yeah, you can tell he's a great guy. There's no question. And look, we needed everything we had last week. I mean, offensively, we were, was kind of talking about the game, just how good they were last week to be able to put, 10, 12, 13 play drives together. I mean, the way they executed last week offensively was a thing of beauty.
And as a quarterback yourself, I mean, you know how hard it is to be asked to score every possession. Settle for a couple of field goals, but scored every possession. Like, that's an incredible level of pressure, and in this particular game, Georgia just rose to that moment.
Well, they did, and the thing we were talking about, you never know how a game's going to flow. I mean, obviously, Ole Miss, they matched us. I mean, they were scoring every time. They were executing unbelievable. But, once they got going, and he said, man, we were just flowing. Everything Bobo was calling was working. You just got to keep the pedal down, because you were playing a lot of different games. You never know how it's going to flow, and that was one of those games. We just kept it going the whole time.
Well, I'll ask you about Coach Richt in a moment, but I got to ask you, Coach Richt was your coach. Now you're coaching. You're part of the great staff there at Hebron Christian Academy. Your sons are playing. They're doing great. How much fun is it to now kind of watch another generation of Greens out there doing their thing? It's fun for us. We had a chance to see you guys on TV earlier this year. How much fun is that for you?
It's been a lot of fun. I mean, look, anytime you go out there, you just watch your kids compete. There's so many great lessons that football teaches, regardless of how long you play. Especially when they're in high school. Yeah, you got to learn to go through adversity and get tough. You got to wake up 5:30, 6 in the morning, go run sprints, and learn how to be part of a team and all. It's a great lessons learned, and I've been really excited. It's been fun being at Hebron. We've had a good team the last few years, and it's a great group of kids.
Well, it's great to be able to see that. We're also in a time now where David Jacobs has been here. His sons are playing. It's like if you look at the landscape of Georgia high school football, you're like, oh, that's David Pollock's son, that's David Greene's son, that's David Jacobs' son. You can look around here. There's a lot of famous names we remember that have their sons that are doing really well too. Then for those of us that grew up around this stuff, that's a cool thing to be able to see.
Well, I tell you, David Jacobs, 2 years ago when Blessed came to play Hebron the first time, I didn't realize that was his son or his sons, because both of them are studs on that D-line. And for the game, I was like, oh, David, you got a kid out here. He goes, oh, yeah, I got two of them on the D-line. I go, this explains a lot. It makes a lot of sense now, and unbelievable. I tell you, that blessed Trinity, that defense is one of the better defenses you'll see in the state.
So obviously tonight, raising money for Parkinson's, Crohn's disease research. Coach Richt, been a leader his whole life, leading the way here on this. And as I was talking to your good friend David Pollock about a moment ago, you know, when you see Coach Richt in a situation like this, I know physically he's obviously dealt with the challenges that Parkinson's going to produce. We don't deny that. And yet his energy level is still so high, looks you in the eye, makes you feel like you're the only guy in the room. He's still the same Coach Richt in so many ways. And obviously to see the support that exists for him in a night like this, I know it must be great for you to see.
It's funny, I've told him a couple of times, I said, Coach, only you could raise this much money at a bowling tournament, right? And but it goes to show the way everybody loves him, the respect for people have, and obviously it's a great cause that's near and dear to his heart. There was no question the Bulldog faithful would show up for something like this. And look, I came straight from practice. I was over at Hebron's practice, and yeah, I'm changing in a car to come over here.
I need several people tell a similar story of you get here, you're just trying to get it all cleaned up and get ready. Listen, everybody's trying to get from wherever they're coming from, but nobody wants to miss it.
There's no doubt, and it's fun. Look, we get to see a bunch of our old teammates, old coaches, get to meet some of the current players that maybe you hadn't met before. It's a lot of fun.
Dave, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for your time. Hope you enjoy the night.
Thank you, bud. Appreciate you.
Good stuff there with David Greene. By the way, coming up in a couple of minutes, Kaylee Mansell going to step in for me. Some of y'all can kind of hear the voice is not great. So Kaylee's helping me out tonight. She's going to talk to Mary Beth Smart, one of our rare times to hear from her. We'll have some fun and surprises on the way with that. We'll also kind of move our way around here a little bit. We'll see what else is going on. We'll keep trying to work our way down and continue to watch some of the bowling that's taking place, including right over here. Okay, we'll see Gunner roll. Let's see Gunner roll. Yeah, so we'll see Gunner Stockton get his chance to roll. So Gunner going to make it happen here. Nice and smooth and easy, and just like that, knocking 9 pins down. How about that? As cool and casual as you're ever going to get. Gunner Stockton drops 9 pins. And after a Saturday when he connected on just about everything, let's see if he can complete the spare here. He's going to come back on the left side and he's going to knock it down. How about Gunner Stockton picking up the spare? Got the Stetson hat on. Stetson, the hat maker, not the former quarterback. Cool as a cucumber. Gunner Stockton knocks down the spare. He's the first current player we've seen put every pin together here. So incredible roll. Glad we got to see that. We'll also hang out here and see if we can see Jordan Hall here too. Looks like Jordan may roll again. And then after that, we'll continue on here. Okay. So we'll watch Jordan Hall. Let's see him get ready to roll. How about Jordan coming back left? Good velocity. Jordan going to be casual about that. We're also going to go talk to Coach Richt here for a moment. Then we'll hear from Kaylee Mansell. So we'll get Coach Richt right over here. Big night. It's our 3rd annual Chick-fil-A DawgBowl. We're live here in Athens, Georgia tonight. So we'll talk to Coach Richt. We'll hear from Kaylee Mansell. Hey, how are you, Coach? Great to see you, sir. How are you doing? Doing well. Can we talk to you for a second? Is that okay? Can we talk to you for a second? Is that okay? No worries. That's no problem at all. Well, Coach, we're big fans of yours, and we know what Coach Richt means to you. What's it like to see a big crowd for him here tonight?
I think it's tremendous celebration of how much Coach Richt means to the program and what he's done for this town and for Georgia football. But and I think the cause is something very worthy, and it's good to see all the players out too. You know, get a chance to get out and celebrate too. So, just tremendous.
Well, I tell you what we love, and it's been true for a long time. You know, you and Coach Richt and the former coaches that have made Athens your home, and we know how much you care about this program and how much it still means to you, and it's a special fraternity, is it not?
Well, it really is. You know, people in Georgia, starting with Coach Dooley and my friend here, Barbara, were always so good to me, and, you know, my wife loved it here, and I just think that there's a lot more than Georgia football around here, too, but it's certainly the number one thing, but just a really good bunch of people that you enjoy doing so many other things with. And, of course, we like to keep up with what's going on. That's why we listen to DawgNation.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, you're looking great, by the way.
Well, I wish I felt as good as I look, but I've got a little medical issue. But Coach Richt and I are fighting it, and we're going to make the best of it. But proud of my ex-player Kirby, and he's doing everything that I tell him to do, except they're not doing the first half.
You taught him everything he knows, right?
He's just not doing it in the first half.
He's just trying to make it more entertaining.
What a job. And I will say this, because I'm not on the air much, but my neighbor was talking about his daughter, and said she just graduated last year. He said she went to school for 4 years, never lost to Tech, never lost to Auburn, never lost to Florida, never lost to Tennessee, and never lost a home game, and won 2 national championships. So what the hell do people want?
Exactly. These students these days don't know how good they have it.
We've spoiled them, that's for sure. It's always good to see you.
Coach, great to see you too. Miss Barbara, can we talk to you for a second? Is that okay? How about the legendary Barbara Dooley over here? We'll see if I can slide around here and be a part of this. And obviously, you've known this Georgia football family for a very long time, and it's just as vibrant as it ever was, right?
It's more vibrant than it's ever been. It's awesome.
Well, it's a fun thing to see, and we've been talking to folks, especially coming off a big win. You can just feel the whole thing in the whole town, the whole community. Everybody just feeds off that, and then to be able to come together tonight and raise money for a great cause in support of Coach Richt and his family makes it extra special, does it not?
Absolutely, and I think Coach Richt and Catherine have done one heck of a job putting this together. But I want to say this, Gunnar Stockton is a much better quarterback than he is a bowler.
Well, Miss Barbara, it's great to see you, and we just are so happy to have you out here tonight.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Good stuff there with Barbara Dooley, in many ways kind of the first lady of Georgia football, if you want to, and obviously the man that it's all about here tonight, as Coach Richt and his family are raising money tonight, Parkinson's, Crohn's disease research, the Isaacson Center here at the University of Georgia. Coach Richt, I have to say thank you again, because it's such a special night for us here at DawgNation to be a part of this, for our audience that gets to watch this. This is really a window into a world that they may only see on television, right, but they see this here tonight. So first of all, thank you so much for allowing us to help you raise this money. What an incredible night.
I'll say this. First guy I went to was Coach Smart. I said, how's your relationship with DawgNation? You good with those guys?
What did he say?
Well, you guys are here, right? So I didn't want, if you guys were having some kind of feud in the background, I didn't want to bring in the group that he wasn't going to be happy with.
Listen, it's all happy as far as we're concerned.
No, he's bullish on you guys and what you do, and I am too.
Well, I tell you, it's also fun to see the way in which, for the kids who are lucky enough to be here, the way that he's out there interacting with them, to watch the players do that too. You know, this is just a lighter side of Georgia football. It's a more relaxed version. On football Saturdays, it's obviously the intensity, and you know that so well. But on a night like tonight, everybody can kind of relax a little bit, and that's a lot of fun.
Well, and then you got to know the right date, right? The Wednesday of the open date is your only shot. So, but Coach Smart has been more than gracious to allow the players to come and do this. He's been a big advocate of this thing, and he's got a lot of things he has a love and affection for as far as charities and things like that. But for him to jump on board with this was huge.
And also, we heard him a moment ago look directly into the camera, and he challenged, and we've been doing all throughout the night. ricksdawgbowl.com is the website. There's also a QR code on the screen that people can access and give. We've got a big goal. Now, we've already given a check tonight for $500,000, but that's not the end of this. We want to go up and above and beyond that.
You know, the check, when the check was made, I'd collected $490, so I figured we'll make at least the $500. By the time the check was handed to me, we were already past $535,000. That's just for the bowling, not for the online giving. So we're counting on everybody out there in the Bulldog Nation to get us over the hump to 700. And historically, they've given about 100 to 150 the last 2 years.
Let's see if we can exceed that total here tonight. So we need you. QR code online, ricksdawgbowl.com. Give. Let's make that happen. Coach Richt's issued the challenge. These players, when Coach Richt said be here, they got here. Whether they're leaving their high school practices or their jobs, whatever else, they were here. They answered his call. We're going to invite you to do the same thing here tonight, there as well. And Coach Richt, that's really what it's all about, right? Because when the money gets raised, when you think about Crohn's disease, which your granddaughter deals with, better treatments, remedies, eventually working towards a cure. And the money that comes together for the research, it really helps, right? And it gives us a chance to have scientific breakthroughs that one day we really can envision a cure.
Well, what happens is with some of these treatments, some of these medicines work for a while. And then after a while, they don't work anymore. And if there's nothing there at the end, then that's when these diseases start to ravage people. So, you know, like, I'm not saying anything about my granddaughter, but I know people that they're on their last drug that works. And if that thing becomes ineffective over time, there's nowhere to go. So that's what we're trying to do, is make sure, whether it's a cure or more treatment, that will give people a good life.
And in the case of Crohn's and a digestive disease like that, it really impacts your quality of life, your ability to just enjoy the things that you love day to day, time with family and friends, or events or pastimes. Crohn's disease can really impact your ability to enjoy that.
Well, that's true. And one thing, if people get on X, I put something there, a tweet, where there's a video of the connection between the gut and brain biology. And if you want to see what the kind of stuff that's happening right here on our campus at the Isaacson Center, watch that video. It's only about 2 or 3 minutes. It's worth the look.
In your career drawing up plays, you never thought one day you'd be an expert on all of the medical research, but it's funny where life takes you, right?
That's right. Well, I'm just thankful for those people smarter than I am trying to figure it out.
Well, Coach Richt, we're proud of you. We're honored to be here. Thank you so much for the example you continue to set for the Georgia football family. There are so many fans of yours in our audience, myself included. So thank you so much for just a great event.
Well, God bless everybody. Go Dogs.
God bless everybody, and go Dogs right back to you. Thank you very much, Coach Mark Richt. And by the way, to keep the Mark Richt family front and center here too, let's get ready to talk to Kaylee Mansell, who's going to hang out here and have a good time. Kaylee, first of all, let me just say this. I'm glad to have you here tonight. You do a great job. Thank you so much for bringing so much energy. And I'm going to pass the baton over to you just for a minute.
Fine. I have to say that this is probably the interview that I have most been looking forward to, is talking to Jadyn Richt, 11 years old, coming on air with us. I have to say, first of all, that's very brave of you. I noticed that you were on a lane at the very end with Justin Williams and Chris Cole. What's it been like bowling with them?
Fun.
Yeah.
And that we get to spend a lot of time together. I just love it.
You're a big inspiration for this event. This is the third one. What's your favorite part about this event?
Probably bowling and hanging out with my grandpa.
Yeah, I was going to say, tell me about the relationship with your grandfather, and do you have a favorite memory with him?
My favorite memory with him is him always playing jokes on me, and that he would always play with me, and that he's just really fun.
I know you got a lot of your siblings and your cousins with you on that lane. Who is the best bowler out of all of your grandfather's grandkids?
Me.
Is it you? What are you bowling right now? Can you tell us? Good enough? Better than everybody else?
Yeah.
That's all that matters. All right, one last thing. We've got a bunch of people watching here in support. Do you have anything that you want to say to everyone watching?
I just want to say, go Dogs.
Go Dogs. We like to hear it. It's so nice to meet you, Jadyn. I'm going to have to come watch you bowl later. Maybe you can give me some tips. All right, Jadyn Richt, obviously a big part of this event, now only supporting Parkinson's, but Crohn's disease as well. So great to be able to talk to her, so well-spoken for her age. And honestly, we've just been watching everybody bowl so far, trying to pick out the players that are doing well at this point. And with that, we're going to do a little walk-along, see if we can go find some of our DawgNation teammates. I see Connor Riley in pink pants, so we're going to try to get Connor to come over here if he can see me. Okay, yeah, so let's do a little walk. If you guys can hear me. Yeah, come on, let's do a little walk. Connor's taking a picture at the moment. He's been trained really well to do this. Grab the mic, give it to him. Some really important people. Brandon right there on the end,
too. It's okay on the air. It's okay on the air. Yeah, I don't know what she's talking about.
You went to the University of Georgia when the switch was made from Richt to Kirby. What did Mark Richt mean to you personally, and what did he mean to the university when you were there at school?
Yeah, I think Mark Richt is still very revered among Georgia fans. Georgia would not be a championship program without him. Kirby obviously was the one to win those, but Mark Richt did so much getting Georgia to that point where they were on sort of the doorstep of being a championship caliber program. And I don't think the transition is as smooth as it was were Richt not leaving this team in place. Again, you think of that 2017 team, guys like Roquan Smith, Nick Chubb, Sony Michel, Isaiah Wynn, those are all guys that Mark Richt recruited, and I think that team got the ball rolling. So you think the guys that came in 2018, the year after that national title run, Jamari Sawyer, James Cook, Zamir White, it all sort of builds on itself, and that's why you see the lineage of Kirby getting from Richt and why this program is so close.
I think one of the cool things about this event, not only is it former players and a lot of special guests, but also current players. I know you've had the chance to watch the lanes. Wow, did we just get a free ad here on the show? Obviously sponsored by Chick-fil-A. I know Brandon's enjoying that.
It's the only one he'll do a free ad.
I know you've had your eyes on the lanes. Any players that stood out to you so far?
Yeah, we were talking pre-show about who might be the best bowler out there on this team. Warren Brinson, who won this event the last 2 years, he's now playing for the Green Bay Packers. By my eyes, Zachariah Branch, who I don't know that how many people would have had him as a great bowler. He seems to be someone who's having a great few roles. So Zachariah Branch may be surprisingly the guy that's dominating this event for Georgia this year.
I know we're in bye week. I know we're supposed to be taking it easy, but I'm not going to have the chance to talk to you on our show this week. What's the recovery been like from this Georgia-Ole Miss game for you?
Well, one, I think of my touchdown prediction first and foremost. I go Colby Young. He gets hurt in the first quarter. That's just a tough break there. But, from the team's perspective, this comes at a great time where you go into the bye week playing well, coming off a win like that. You have things you can fix. But also, for the most part, this team is in a spot where they can get healthy. You think of the offensive line, how big it's going to be for Ernest Green, Monroe Ferlin to get this week off going into the next part of the season. And, we're 7 games in. I think this team knows what its identity is right now. And there are little things that they can tweak and fix, but they know who they are. And the fact that they're 6-1, I thought they'd have 2 losses by this point on the schedule. So they can manage the rest of the way. I think they're in a great spot for doing the things that they want to do.
All right, so we'll say thank you to Connor Riley. We've got a special guest coming on. It is the wife of Mark Richt. We'll go ahead and bring in Catherine. Yes, you can go ahead and come to this side of me. First off, I just want to say thank you for the time to do this. I had the chance to talk to Mark earlier, and he said he gives all credit to you because he was away all the time. So I know that behind every good man is a good woman. So thank you for taking the time to do this with us.
Sure, thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys being here covering this event.
Yeah, it's the 3rd one. Can you talk a little bit about how it came to life in the beginning and what it's been like to watch it grow over the last 3 years?
So Mark just really wanted to do something to be able to help with Parkinson's and Crohn's. Our granddaughter has the Crohn's disease. And so I don't know that he'd actually been to a bowling event, but he loves to bowl. Yeah. And so he's like, hey, what if we did? And we just started tossing the idea around. And then he's had to speak to Kirby because Kirby had to be all in or it didn't work for us. And so he did, and Kirby was in. And then he actually found out that Dr. K, I can't say his name.
It's okay. We like honesty on the show, though.
That's right. Dr. K was doing the research and that there was a connection between the Crohn's and the Parkinson's. And so we were like, you know what, that's perfect. And it's with UGA. So we were fired up about that too.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, because all the donations obviously go to the Isaac Center here at Georgia. What's the communication like between y'all and the Isaacson Center?
Oh, it's great. They do a great job. They keep Mark up to date. They send him videos. They send him letters of updates of things that they're researching and new things that they're finding all the time. So it's just been a great, great relationship with them.
Obviously, as a wife and a grandmother, you're naturally in that caretaker role, and having them both have Parkinson's and Crohn's. Is there any misconceptions that you think that people have about the care that it takes to, take care of them?
Well, I just think it's individual because everybody that has Parkinson's is not the same. Like Mark doesn't have the tremors, but a lot of Parkinson people do. And even with Jadyn, she was diagnosed at 11 months old. So for my son and my daughter-in-law to be able to go through that with her at such a young age, their first baby, that was really tough. So it just depends on the person. And I think, you just have to take it one day at a time. And you cheer for the wins and the losses. You just try to keep moving forward and move through them. So
if you could tell everyone that's watching one thing about this event, what would it be?
Oh gosh, that's a spot answer, isn't it?
There's a lot going on behind tremendous. I'm just trying to paint the picture. Okay, I've got something else for you, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to. I mean, everybody's excited about the current players coming in, but there's also a lot of former players here. Do you have a favorite former player or someone that maybe you get really excited to see knowing that they're going to be at the event?
I get excited to see them all. Any of them that played with for Coach Mark Richt was awesome. I love those guys. They're the best.
A true coach's wife. So nice to talk to you. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
How wonderful was that? All right, so, I mean, amazing. Like I said, a true coach's wife, you can tell, trained up, and she does so much work with this event. She's the first one here running around getting everything done, so want to make sure that she gets the credit that she deserves, not only for the caretaking that she does, but also everything that she pours into this event. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break. We will be right back at the 3rd annual Chick-fil-A DawgBowl.
When you first find out you have Parkinson's, and if you go to the internet and you start looking things up, it just will scare the heck out of you. I didn't have heavy tremors, but there's probably, I don't know, Doc, maybe 20 symptoms.
Absolutely.
And so all of us have maybe 4 or 5 of them, you know. Like mine was balance, muscle rigidity, loss of smell. You don't think, oh, I lost my sense of smell, maybe I have Parkinson's. You don't think that. And so the more you know about it, the better off you are, in my opinion.
Yeah, I remember when Dad told us, he said something along the lines of, everyone's got something, and if I'm gonna get something, this isn't a bad thing to get. Right. And I think that kind of set the stage, because he took that initiative in a positive light. And I think that as he did a lot in his life, he recognized this was a challenge, but he thought, much like you, how can I turn this into an opportunity? And it's that opportunity to help others to be able to be here at the Isaacson Neurological Research Center.
He chose to live with the disease as best he could for as long as he could. And ultimately, starting the Isaacson Initiative and starting the process that we're all following through on today, which was to raise money for research.
Because he knew there wasn't going to be a cure in his lifetime. So you're still hopeful, and you still, do things like the medicines, the trials, and you do all that to help yourself live with Parkinson's as long as you can, but also being realistic that if I put more into it that's going to go beyond me, it's going to be able to help others.
And that's what this thing is all about, is to try to get enough resources behind it to let you guys do what you need to do. We don't want money to be the reason why we can't advance. The minute it became public that I had Parkinson's, people wanted me to get involved with fundraising for Parkinson's. And so I woke up in the middle of the night and I thought of the idea of having a bowling tournament. You got 32 lanes, people have golf tournaments all the time, and there's a celebrity golfer, and I think people would enjoy doing that. And so I'm thinking, who better than the current Georgia football players to be the celebrities? Now the adding of the Crohn's research is because my granddaughter's got Crohn's, and my wife's like, if you're going to raise money, for Parkinson's, you got to raise money for Crohn's. So initially, we were going to just, half the money was going to go to Crohn's research, half the money was going to go to Parkinson's. And then after talking with you and talking about the relationship between, the gut biology and how some things from the gut actually go to the brain, there's a connection there. And so, I felt comfortable that Dr. K's research was going to cover both of those diseases as far as trying to find answers. And so we felt very confident to put all the money in your care. Eventually we got over 800,000. So maybe we'll hit $1 million next year, we'll see.
I thought initially send out shares, that's the name for the title. Sometimes people put the money and they don't follow up. But I saw here this vision, immediate vision that Isaacson had, and that the children are taking, following up, and it's been a great opportunity, and I was able to build a team. It's been a great experience and a very gratifying experience.
I was thinking, thank God for smart people.
We said that walking into this building. Well, you should know our family is proud to support you and the work that you're doing, and proud for you to be representing his name, and particularly doing so here at the University of Georgia.
I think that really the mission and the vision that Dad had is living and driving you and the team that you've built. And I think that if you spend some time in here and you really, that just comes out.
Thank you. I think
make him very proud.
We get a lot of tours. Everybody impressed with what we do here. Sometimes it's science is not just to doing within the lab and bench and then you publish something. It has to be well connected with the community. I've learned a lot in my life. It's an honor to be part of that. The team as family and your commitment is a type of encouragement really, helps us to further advance and work, make the science move much faster. So thank you.
Dad never wanted his name associated with something that wasn't about him. And so I think to put his name on this center with your leadership, focused on the thing that had become so important to him, I think that's the most logical and natural extension. I mean, there's nothing more we'd rather support than that effort. And I think that's a tremendous legacy for him, and we're really proud of that.
Life is short, truly. And when you help somebody who can't really help you back, it does something to your spirit. I mean, when you give, you're definitely helping the cause, but when you give, you're also blessing yourself. And if everybody would just do something nice for someone else, the world's going to be a lot better place.
Hey, we're back here live. It's the third annual Chick-fil-A DawgBowl. Happy to have a group of folks who know this Rick family as well as anybody possibly could. Chappie Hines, you've known him throughout the years. His wife, Mickey Hines, here there with us there as well. Now, she's got an important role right now doing Rock City Boxing. We're going to hear about that here coming up. Is it not working? We're gonna hear about that here coming up. But Chappie, let me first of all ask you though about the night, the fun. You're obviously right in the middle of all that. You're kind of getting people corralled together to start the bowling. How much fun is it for you to watch all the fun that everybody's having here tonight?
Selfishly, the greatest part of this evening is seeing all the former players. My heart is full. I love it. I'm grateful that people came out, support this. Coach Rick's been dealing with Parkinson's, and this is an incredible, authentic, great time, and I'm grateful, and I love it. But, man, to see them old players come back just warms my heart.
And I know Kaylee's got a lot of stuff, and I'll let her jump in, but I got to also say, too, and I know Coach Rick's going through it, and what a courageous battle he's fighting. But, man, I love the energy. I love what he brings out here. As I've told so many players tonight, I just love the way that if you're talking to him, man, he just still makes you feel the same way he always did. Supportive, encouraging, and honestly, that's such a inspiring thing for so many of us, I think, to be able to see.
Well, my wife is his sister. She's the second greatest thing that's ever happened to me, besides my relationship with Christ and getting saved. I met her. We've been married. They're a Midwest family. They're from Nebraska originally. They're honest, loyal, hardworking, humble people. Listen, I remember telling people, the more success Coach Richt had early on, the humbler he got. It was really, I've been in the Marine Corps, I've seen people get ranked, forget who they are. I've been a cop, I've seen people reach sheriff, forget where they came from. So to see this man early on have this success, and we still won 10 games a year, but to see that and the humility, he's a beautiful man.
Well, I can tell you, Kaylee's like that. As her star's rising, she's doing great in her broadcast career. You wouldn't believe how her ego's just exploded.
Oh, yeah.
That is so not true.
No.
He's just putting me on the spot because he knows we're live. I have to say, one of my favorite parts about the night so far is just watching the chemistry between you two, not just here on air, but even in the seconds we got to watch y'all. I think the most important question I can ask is, who's the better bowler between you two?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I am.
I can tell you've got the competitor in you.
I hate the Devils, Sin, the Florida Gators, and bowling.
Oh.
You've trained him right, obviously. Oh, yeah. So you teach a class at Rock City Boxing, which Mark has been very upfront that it's helped him with a lot of his symptoms with Parkinson's. How did you begin to teach that class, and how exactly does it help him?
Well, once Mark found out he had Parkinson's, I'm a physical therapist, and so he looked into what can help, like exercise and movement. So I went to Indianapolis with Catherine Richt, Mark's wife, and we became certified Rock City Boxer coaches. And then the way the program works is we're fighting Parkinson's. That's why it's called boxing. We're fighting Parkinson's. It's non-contact. But it's movement, it's fun, it's community, it's hope for these people. You get diagnosed with Parkinson's, you're like, what do I do? You move, you exercise. So we work on a lot of different things. We're trying to slow the progression down and kind of decrease the symptoms.
Yeah, so third annual Chick-fil-a Dog Bowl. I know this isn't your first one. You know, for you, what's the most rewarding part about this entire experience?
I just love like seeing everybody, old friends, and I love watching my boxers. Bowling, it's great for them. They're having a great time and they want to do it. So I'm like, they're just people. So that's what's the best part. We're just
amazing.
I just call them athletes. They're my athletes. I don't say like, oh, you got Parkinson's, you got it. We don't really talk. We talk about it, but it's not a pity party. It's a fun time. It's hope. It's exercise, and we're athletes.
I'm going to tell you really quick how the Lord works. I grew up, and I'm on film, so this can be verified. If I'm lying, I'm dying. I grew up in Catskill, New York. I fought in the gym with Customato. 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, my brother John Michael and I were in the gym. And then all of a sudden Iron Mike came in, everybody got kind of thrown to the side, but we had left about that time. My parents got divorced. We moved to Greenville, New York. I joined the Marine Corps, I box in Smokers, Meridian, Mississippi, I'm boxing. Well, I get out of the Marine Corps, I haven't boxed since. Mickey and Mark come to us, and Mark says, we got Parkinson's. She starts looking at boxing. She looks at me and says, don't you know something about boxing? And I said, I'm 60 now, I was 59. 50 years ago, I was in Catskill boxing for Customato. Now, I can't take my children or your children and make them Golden Gloves, but I know enough to be her corner guy. So she does all the exercise, and I'm the boxing guy, and it works unbelievable. Yeah, I got focus mitts. It's incredible that 50 years ago, I'm in the gym, and God knew that Mark Richt was going to get Parkinson's, and we were going to be there to bless him and help him. And now we have 16 fighters in our stable. 17. We have 16, huh? 17 fighters, which is awesome, but it's sad because 17 people have Parkinson's. But we allow to use our services to help these beautiful people fight this ugly disease.
I do have one question. I don't know if any of our viewers at home have Parkinson's, but if they do, is there a way that they can contact you to potentially be a part of the class?
Yeah, you can call the D1 gym. It's in Athens. It's D1. Or if you go to the website, Rocksteady Boxing, then I'll pull up in Athens my name and then the phone number. Then they kind of contact me. Then they have to do an assessment with me, and then we kind of go from there.
But it's good to know the outreach is there. So if you or someone you know, I think that's amazing.
Okay.
So, Chappie, before we let y'all go, on our screen right now, there's a QR code that people can give. They know the website, ricksdawgbowl.com. I'm going to ask you to encourage our audience that's maybe been watching all night long to go ahead and relinquish that credit card information and get ready to give to this great cause tonight.
Yeah, well, I'll say this. Say what you want about Mark Richt's 15-year tenure at Georgia. He represented the University of Georgia with excellence. It was better when we left than when we got there, which is a huge barometer of your success. And he loved Georgia. He had opportunities to leave in those 15 years. He was committed to Georgia. So if we can commit to Coach Richt and we can commit to the Dog Bowl of 2025 and we can give, I work for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. If a person gives me $10 a month, that's huge. Well, if 1,000 people gave $10, that's $1,000.
It changes everything.
I know, I'm not good at math.
I need you as
I'm a
my
boxer.
alarm clock every morning. Like the way that you speak your command, I need you as my alarm clock.
But I'm serious. We can really help look at this thing. I mean, my mother died of cancer. There's cancer. There's so many diseases. Yeah, but you need research. And so Mark Richt's got Parkinson's. We're trying to fight it. We have 17 fighters that we're trying to help get a diagnosis and help get a cure. So God bless you, and thank you again, Kirby Smart, Mark Richt, the Georgia football world. Please donate and give to the Dog Bowl.
Absolutely great stuff from Chappie and Mickey Hines there, right there. And the money matters. It makes a difference. Better treatments, better remedies, eventually a cure. We're optimistic that that can happen. And what's interesting is, as we talk about Crohn's disease and Parkinson's disease tonight, the connection through the gut with the digestive system for this. You know, Dr. K, who leads the Isaacson Center on this, can explain to us a little bit better about exactly that tie and how all that works. And so to get a little deeper into the medical part of this, now we've got more fun interviews to come, but to get a little deeper into the medical part of this and why the research dollars make such a big impact, let me let you watch this right now, and then we'll be back with more live interviews and more fun here tonight with the 3rd annual Chick-fil-a Dog Bowl.
I'm Ananda Kanasamy. I work in the area of Parkinson's disease, leading a team that uncovers new treatments focusing on gut-brain axis. Constantly there's a connection between the gut and brain. Sometimes you feel it's a gut feeling. That's because of the connections that we have. The gut produces a lot of metabolites, including nutrients, serotonin, and these are brain chemicals. We were able to tune that pathway that makes that chemical and convert it into L-DOPA. So anti-Parkinsonian drug, it's a gold standard drug. The large part of that team is currently focusing on this research so that we can make a drug that helps Parkinson's and also helps the inflammation.
Bowl 1-9 it's been already. So much fun. And I just wish you could see everything that we see. KJ Bolden, I mean, what a Wednesday night. We're just watching KJ Bolden hanging out and having fun, and great football players, obviously in the midst of a great season, having a great time. How about our DawgNation folks over here? How about Faraday Pippin right over here leading the way on all of that? We got our folks from Jittery Joe's and Serve Pro, Sokovie White just hanging out and chilling. It almost kind of reminds you, I'm going to date myself with this reference. Y'all remember the old Sports Center commercials where it'd just be the halls of ESPN and just random athlete just standing right there? It's like you see our friends from Serve Pro just hanging out talking to Sokovie White. It's a great thing to be able to see. We're also going to continue to bring you interviews and show you some of the bowling. But as Chappie said a moment ago, and as Coach Smart said prior to that, we're also going to encourage you tonight to be a part of the giving. The QR code is there, the website, ricksdawgbowl.com. We're going to ask you to do that, be a part of that, help us get to that $700,000 mark. Obviously, the video is for fun. The bowling is an incredible spectacle to see. Everybody's in a great mood, celebrating a big win for Georgia on Saturday. But the cause is important. It's crucial. We want to show our support for Coach Richt. We also want to get towards that big goal because of what can happen when great research dollars come together, when breakthroughs occur, better remedies, better treatments. Eventually, there is a cure along the way. We are going to be able to work our way towards that. Now, in a moment, Dr. K, who is, you talk about an imbalance of like IQ and credentials. I don't know there's a better example of that when I try to interview him, but honestly, he's great at like dumbing stuff down so somebody like me can understand. In fact, let's bring Dr. K on here right now. You have time for us for a second? We're live here on DawgNation. A lot of football fans watching here right now. And I was joking. The imbalance in credentials between yourself and me is pretty wide here right now. But you're obviously so good at explaining the work that the Isaacson Center does, the connection, neurologically digestive when it comes to Crohn's and Parkinson's disease, and really how the money that's being raised tonight can obviously help us with better treatments and one day a cure. Would you mind talking to our audience a little bit about how it helps and why it's so important?
Of course, the money they raise here is a game changer for us to build a new area of research. What we do in the lab is to see how we can develop a drug that affects both diseases, Crohn's as well as Parkinson's. So what we're trying to understand, what the gut bacterium that we can select and make them to make a drug. That's one of the things we are doing. So I think this is a kind of completely new groundbreaking area for us in terms of there is no other universities doing this type of work, particularly for neurological diseases. That's what it makes us to be unique. Though this type of research only can build through this type of foundation or the donations coming from.
So let me ask you this, because so many people in our audience, when they think about a disease like Parkinson's, people have stories with that, people in their family, friends they've known, and we hear about research, but I think for the average person who doesn't live in a medical journal world, who doesn't have access to information, sometimes you wonder the kinds of breakthroughs that do occur. Can you, in simple language, tell us about how we have seen breakthroughs with research, and we know more than we used to know, and that we are working through and working towards a much better horizon where the outlook for these diseases is maybe different than it is right now. Can you talk to us on the optimistic side of things about how scientists such as yourself are having these big breakthroughs?
Absolutely. I think we are in the kind of inflection point in science. So what all the new technologies come in, AI, data science, we have all the genome already been understand each people's genes. We can really understand how they work, and the tools available to scientists. We can map the entire all the cells in our brains and as well as the gut. So the gut and brain, there is a constant communication. This is a kind of unique area that we can develop some drugs that could really help the patients with the neurological disease, Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. These are chronic diseases, incurable diseases. We are making a lot of progress. I think the last 10, 15 years that all the fundamental biology now in a stage that we can really make an impact on patients' life. So coming to what we call a translational science. The fundamental science can be translated into some technologies.
And obviously for our audience, we're sports fans. We see the way that technology is changing sports, and it happens so fast. I'm sure for you it must be really exciting when you see all the technological advances, including AI, the way in which it would certainly seem to me that the research process is accelerated even more because technology is almost growing exponentially. That must have a huge impact on scientific research.
Absolutely. In terms of all the questions we ask, previously it takes days. Now we can get it in minutes, all the information we needed so that we can go to next step. So I think the fast of science that goes much faster these days than ever before. I think it's going much, much faster, and I think we can move the science, particularly the brain science, such a complex organ. Gut, again, is such a complex organ where there's a constant communication. To understand that we need technologies that allow us to really next step much faster way.
And I've got to ask you, you've got your Georgia sweatshirt on tonight. How much have you all enjoyed being a part of this university community? And I'm sure the support that you must feel. Obviously, there's a great sense of pride of the great scientific work that is being done here. I'm sure it must be a great thing to be a part of this university community.
Yes. It's a great pleasure to work under our Dean Nolan. And she gave us a unique opportunity to discover novel drugs for Parkinson's disease. So we have a game changer in our lab where we have discovered new drugs, and also being part of the community and going for the games. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs indeed. I got to ask you, have you bowled tonight?
Yes.
How have you been doing?
Okay.
He's a better scientist than a bowler.
Hey, listen, that's what matters right there, right? Well, listen, we appreciate both of you being a part of this. Thank you so much. Congratulations on the great work, and what an awesome night.
Yeah, thanks to the coach for organizing this great event and all the supporters. It's been a great community, and I think we need to all come together to support the coach and also the disease that affects still millions of people.
We're together fighting this disease.
That's a beautiful way to conclude the message. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of the night. Great stuff there. You'd love to be able to see that. How about let's keep the great guests going. Bring in Russ Tanner here right now. Russ, it's great to talk to you. Yes, so much fun, and I tell you, it's been a great night. This is our third annual. So successful. Coach Richt raising so much money, but also everybody having a good time. Yeah. It's an emotion you can feel, right? You can really feel it, right?
Man, it's unbelievable. Coach Richt has meant so much to the people here, the community, everybody that knows the man for a long time, and to see people rally around him and to see all the, it's fun for me, man, because all the old guys are here. The guys I play with, John Stinchcomb, George Foster, DJ Shockley, David, and then you see all these young kids hanging out with them. You're looking over there, there's Oscar Delp, KJ Bolden, Gunner, these guys are unbelievable, and it's just such a cool event to be a part of. So I'm really, really grateful Coach Richt still has old washed-up guys going to be here.
Well, I tell you, there was a great moment earlier, and you got to understand what this means to me as a lifelong Georgia fan. So David Greene and Gunner Stockton having a conversation, just a couple of quarterbacks talking. Of course, we got our camera right up there in the middle of it because we're going to be nosy. But it's just such a cool thing to be able to see, generations of Georgia players coming together like that for our audience. I think that's a great thing to see tonight. It's just fun to know that the tie, the bond with Georgia football remains strong all these years later.
It's really cool. We talk, people ask me, man, do you miss it? And I don't miss the practice. I miss Saturdays a little bit, but you miss your guys. You miss the guys that were in the locker room that you were buddies with, all that. And there's a bond that you build there that is hard to explain to anybody that's not a part of it. So it's just really cool. I saw Drew Bobo tonight. You may or may not notice I played center, right? I saw Drew Bobo, who's a lot bigger than me. And I was like, Drew, how old are you? He's like 21. I started doing the math. Georgia's starting center was 1 my senior year of college. So I don't feel like I'm that old, but it's cool to see a guy who was 1 year old my senior year and feel like we have something so, ingrained in us that we're brothers because of it. So, yeah, it's cool, man. It's really cool.
And as a center yourself, to watch the way that he performs, of course, you see things I don't see, but my gosh, man, he just seems like he's got that position figured out. He's as tough as they come, but he also seems to have, as a coach's son, a cerebral understanding, just a really impressive football player.
Well, he's probably a lot smarter than his daddy. And I can say that because he was my offensive coordinator my senior year. I love Bobo. I saw Kirby before the season. I was just asking about the guys that on the O-line. It's just interesting to me. He's talking about Drew Bobo. He's like, man, he's a lot better athlete than you recognize. He's a really good basketball player. Oh, is that right? That was nothing they ever said about me coming up. They're like, boy, that Tanner, he can really put it in the hoop. So, but that's how Drew Bobo is. He's a really good athlete. And again, man, like it really impressed me, like just how well-spoken, how engaging, like all these guys are. They're just great dudes.
It's amazing to me too. You watch the center position, and you come to the line. They're just pointing. I mean, they're essentially functioning almost like a quarterback before the ball is snapped, pointing out all kinds of things to the defense. You're asking these centers to do so much.
You are, and I mean, for a guy like Gunner, which Gunner is not a rookie by any means. He's been here. He knows what to do. But there's so much on the quarterback when it's rocking, right? The defense is moving. You're having to adjust, having to see what they're giving you on this side, what you're doing this side, and then he's having to set the protection too. If you have a center that understands what you're trying to do schematically, and he can call out the mic, he can call out the wheel, he can slide protection and help the quarterback out, it's one more thing off of Gunner's plate that lets him move a little bit quicker, make decisions a little bit faster, and then execute without having to worry about it. So yeah, Drew Bobo is a huge part of this offense.
Especially when it's loud on the road and left tackle can't hear what the interior of the offensive line is saying. To be able to have that communication down, I mean, we're led to believe, Georgia's already got 2 road wins this season. We're led to believe that communication's as big a part of offensive success as almost anything.
It 100% is. And it's interesting with this O-line this year because we've been so banged up, right? I mean, you probably know this is what you do every day. Like, how many combinations of O-lines have we had so far this year?
It started 6 different combinations.
6 different combinations, right?
And we're only 7 games in the season.
Which is wild. It's absolutely wild. It's hard to have cohesion. It's hard to have where you're all on the same unit and you can do the same thing without having to say it verbally. That's what you want when you talk about offensive line gelling. Can they do the same thing at the same time without having to verbalize it? So I think people like Bobo in the middle, Micah Morris has been really solid for there. You got a couple of guys that do it right all the time. But as this team gets more actual live reps together, practice is great, practice is awesome, Georgia practice is hard. There's nothing like being live, especially in the SEC on the road. As this group gets more and more reps together with live bullets flying, so to speak, they're going to be better and better as the season goes on.
Well, I'll let you go on this. Over the 3-year history, more than $2 million raised. We're going to go towards $700,000 this year. We've already given out a big check here tonight. It's not just the community coming together to have fun, but for a great cause. We talked to Dr. K a moment ago. Yep. Of course, his IQ is twice mine, so he's, I like it.
Compliment that to him or not?
Yeah, maybe not. Let's say it's at least twice mine. How about that? But the point is, that money going to a great cause, serious research being done. It's an awesome thing to see, right?
It's great, man. I mean, we're here. We have purpose and reason to be on this planet. It ain't just to show up and cheer the dogs on. Yeah. We're supposed to help and love our neighbor, and Coach Richt does that as well as anybody I know.
And to use like the fame from Georgia football, the love that people have for Georgia football, to leverage that and be a good steward of the love that people have for Georgia football. That's what's being put in action right now too.
The platform you get when you put the G on is a platform that not many people get to experience. Coach Richt got to the highest platform, right? I mean, you're talking about Vince Dooley, Jim Donnan, Mark Richt, Ray Goff, Kirby Smart. And he uses that to do so much for people around him, for this community, for the state. He's an unbelievable man.
Russ, we're big fans of yours. We appreciate you being here tonight. Hope you have a great time and enjoy it.
Go Dogs.
You having fun tonight too? You getting bowl a little bit? Look, you got your Georgia jersey on. You're looking good though. Y'all have fun. All right, good to see you. So good stuff there. We'll keep it going here right now. How about Sean Chappas over here, former Georgia fullback? And we were talking a little earlier, not all the way back, but the fullback's kind of back a little bit, right? We've seen Georgia line up with a fullback this year. Josh McCray's done that some. Prior to injury, by the way, Ethan Barbour's here tonight. prior to injury, Ethan Barbour lining up at fullback a little bit. So maybe the fullback position on its way back, which I think is a good thing.
Hashtag bring back the fullback.
I would agree with that, right?
That's what I like to say. And as you'll remember, I could argue one of the most important plays of the game last week at Ole Miss was that 4th and 1 where we gave the ball to McCray. He lined up as a fullback. And we were down 35-26 at the time. And he got hit in the backfield. Credit to Josh for stumbling ahead for, 2-3 yards and getting the first down.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because, in a game like this where there's like 80 points and it's crazy, it's almost like there's so many moments, it's hard to chronicle them all. But you can make a case, I know Lane Kiffin feels this way because he said so, you can make a case that the Josh McCray run, the second effort to get that first down, that's almost as big as anything that happened, because if that doesn't convert there, who knows what happens with the game, but there's a very good chance it does not go our way. McCray's run was about as big as anything that happened.
Yeah, look, as a former fullback, I will say that when he lined up at fullback, it was the play of the game. So that's why we got a hashtag bring back the fullback.
I love that. Well, how much fun is this tonight, seeing former players, guys that I know you're friends with, an incredible night of fellowship. What does it mean to you?
It's a ton of fun. Coach Richt does an incredible job with this event. I was here, this is the 3rd year, I think, right? And I was here 2 years ago, and just the amount of good he's been able to do with the research and the money he's been able to raise. And, who doesn't love coming out here and spending time with, for me, former teammates and the current guys on the roster. And it's just a great night of fellowship, like you said. And I'm really, really proud of Coach Rick and his family and what they've been able to put together. It's really cool to see.
And as a player yourself, former player, you know what it's like. Even in an off week, practice is a grind. And Kirby practices these guys hard, and Georgia fans are glad that he does. But the fact that these guys are out here smiling and posing for pictures and hanging out with kids and just giving of themselves, like really making people feel like they're a part of it. Not an easy thing to do in the middle of the week when you're probably thinking about maybe having a Saturday off, but these players have been as generous with their time as anything tonight.
Absolutely, and I think it starts with Coach Smart, giving everyone the blessing and encouragement to come out here and do it. And then, credit to the guys, too, for showing up and having smiles and having a good time and having great attitudes because, I'm sure that they'd rather be here than grinding out on the field with a Kirby Smart football practice.
Yeah,
but
maybe Kirby let them go a few minutes early today. They had a chance to come over here, right?
Yeah, exactly. But no doubt they're working their tails off on the field, too. So it's good to see them get out here and have some fun.
Well, Sean, we're glad to see you tonight. Always a fun time to catch up and talk to you. Thanks for being a part of what we're doing here tonight.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
Good stuff there. Sean Chappis, former Georgia fullback, as a part of the Chick-fil-a DawgBowl. I think we can walk the aisle here again. Can we do that one more time? We'll go through here and see what we're able to see. Get a good another look here. Looks like Sokovi's about to roll again. We'll kind of take one more lap here before we get ready to wrap things up here tonight. Sokovi with the left hand. Pretty good roll by Sokovi White right there. We'll see him try to pick up the spare. There is no Warren Brinson. Sokovi not happy about the cameras. But listen, we've seen him perform on the lights all before. KJ Bolden giving a little grief here right now. Sokovi White gonna pick up the spare. Let's watch it go. Here it goes. Hey, 9's not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Keep in mind that the legend of this event, Warren Brinson, is not here this year, obviously. And there's KJ Bolden over there. KJ, how about 9 pins for KJ? Let's see if KJ is able to pick up the spare here. A lot of bowling alleys near Beaufort, Georgia. No pressure for KJ Bolden. Let's see him. There it is, folks. There it is, folks. There it is, folks. Oh, just off to the left. Just off to the left. Hey, but a lot of fun here tonight. KJ, you're doing a great job, man. Great, appreciate it. Good stuff there from KJ Bolden. See a great collection of Georgia players right over here, hanging out, having a good time. We'll kind of roll through. Hey, appreciate y'all being here. Thank you very much. Appreciate y'all being here. Good stuff there. How about our good friend Brian from Pello? You hear us talk about Pello Windows all the time. Brian, can we talk to you for a second? We're live on video. This is Brian from Pello Windows. So first of all, how have you bowled tonight?
Not very good. Not very good. We're surrounded by champions over here. This guy's got spin on it like PG, pro bowler.
I saw David Pollock earlier. He looked like, is it Pete Weber? Is that the guy's name? He looked like Pete Weber getting the roll going. You can tell who really has done a lot of bowling and who has not.
Absolutely. Oh, for sure, yeah. These guys got illegal braces too. I didn't know if you saw that, but
oh wow, how about that? How about that? So we're gonna get a rules official to check on that. But I will tell you, obviously, on behalf of everybody at the Chick-fil-A Dog Bowl, thank you so much to Pella Window for being a part of this. You guys are obviously a great company, helping tonight raise money for a great cause. I think it's so inspiring to see what Coach Richt does leading the way on this. And on behalf of everybody, to all of you at Pella, thank you so much for just helping this be such a successful night.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Great cause, like you said. Go Dogs.
Well, go Dogs indeed. Enjoy the rest of the night. Good stuff there. Brian from Pella, awesome to be able to see that. We'll go through here, see if we can see a little bit more before we get ready to sign off here tonight. You got Brett Thorson, didn't get to punt on Saturday, but how about the boom? He picked up the spare. Brett Thorson, who famously unfollowed Gunnar Stockton. Colton Heinrich going to pick up his spare. Look at that spin. Went two-handed to try to bring it back. Colton, pretty good move right there for sure. Good stuff there on that. We're also going to get a chance to speak to Andrew Cathy, CEO of Chick-fil-A, who obviously helping us have a big night here tonight. Fun to be able to see that. We'll see if we can speak to him here right now. Mr. Cathy, you got a couple seconds for us here? We're live on video. This is Andrew Cathy, CEO of Chick-fil-A, and obviously this event bears the name of Chick-fil-A. I know how much Coach Richt has meant to your family and the entire Chick-fil-A organization. Tell us why it's important for Chick-fil-A to help raise money for this outstanding cause tonight.
Well, he's got such a heart. So grateful for the impact that he's having and using the platform he has to make such a difference. And this is such a big cause. I know that's dear to his heart. So we're grateful just to come alongside of him and support it. And grateful for all those that have been making donations and encourage all those online to make donations to help support the cause tonight. And grateful for Coach Smart and the entire team for being out here.
As Mr. Cathy said, there's a QR code on the screen. ricksdawgbowl.com is the website. We're still raising money here tonight. Now, I'm going to tell you this, and I know this will be a personal point of pride for you. There's a lot of star power in this room. Kirby Smart's been here. Mark Richt's here. Georgia players are here. The biggest celebrity I saw in the building tonight, though, was the Chick-fil-A team member walking around with the milkshakes. When the milkshake tray came out, that was the biggest ovation I saw all night long. So nice to know the Chick-fil-A milkshakes and all the Chick-fil-A food are still as popular as ever.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for being here. Grateful to continue to donate it tonight.
So enjoy the rest of the night. We appreciate you being with us.
Appreciate it.
There, Andrew Cathy, CEO of Chick-fil-A, and we certainly appreciate his time here, and obviously the Chick-fil-A Dog Bowl, big part of all of that. We got a Super Bowl winning quarterback behind us. I wonder if we could take a second. Let's see. Brad Johnson, you got time to talk to us just for a second here? We're live on video. Brad Johnson here, obviously a big part of Coach Richt's family and a Super Bowl winning quarterback in his own right. Great to see everybody having a good time. Quarterback to quarterback there, you talking to David Greene. Obviously, I know this night means a lot to you. How much fun is it to be a part of?
It's an unbelievable night. All the Georgia Bulldog players coming out here. Kirby bringing all his players out. See all DJ Shockley, George Foster, David Greene, like just a lot of friendships, a lot of great memories, a lot of great past, and then just come out here for a great cause. It's pretty incredible.
And to see everybody just pick right back up where they left off, right? You know, like they just saw each other. I mean, obviously as you get older and people have families and jobs and things like that, it becomes a little harder to stay connected on a regular basis, but the bond is just as strong as ever, right?
Yeah, the friendships, the bonds, the past, the greatness. And then you pass it on to others. But the friendships, that's what you long for as former players. You miss the locker room, you miss playing on the field, but then you get to kind of enjoy each other, whether it's a golf course or on the bowling alley.
And obviously, I know what Coach Richt means to you personally. When you see what he means to these folks here who would do anything, I mean, David Pollock will tell you, and he's told us this, that, you know, if this event was in the Middle East or, you know, Europe or wherever, he's going to find a way to be there. How much Coach Richt means to all these folks here as someone who has that close family bond with him. What does that mean for you?
Well, that's the way he was at Florida State 25 years ago when he coached all of us. And we still have that great connection, all those friendships and that past before. But I remember when he took the job, he said, I didn't want to just come take a job to be a head coach. I want to impact lives. And it doesn't really go hand in hand with everybody, but that's what he's done. He stayed in the community, and he's been able to give back for great causes.
tell you, that's what we love, for those of us who are Georgians, and obviously the Athens community means a lot to us. The fact that Coach Richt and, you, as you said, you're a Florida State guy, played your NFL career, various spots. The fact that you live in this area, that, we like the fact, we take a lot of pride in the fact that Athens has that gravitational pull that brings you here, that's kept Coach Richt here when he's really been kind of a Florida guy before that, but stayed here. We love the fact that Athens keeps these families here, and it just means a lot to us to know that's true.
Well, it's home for us. We raised our kids here. We've been here for 13 years. And with Mark, they had 4 brothers and sisters with 12 cousins. They all grew up here, going to Prince Avenue at Coney County High School. So it's just been, it's family, it's home for us being here in Athens.
So I'll talk football with you for 1 second. As a former Bucs quarterback yourself, how about the job that Baker Mayfield's doing for Tampa Bay right now, right?
They have found their quarterback. I think he's won 4 games coming from behind this year already. They'll probably sign him to a huge contract here in the next 12 months or so, but it's just fun watching greatness take place, and an organization that's behind him, the players are behind him, but then the city's behind him, and that it's hard to do that, especially when you replace somebody like Tom Brady. So it's just fun to watch somebody play good football at that position.
I'll tell you what, it's great to speak to you. Enjoy the rest of the night. Thanks for spending some time with us. Good stuff there. Brad Johnson, Super Bowl winning quarterback, obviously a part of Coach Richt's family, brother-in-law to Coach Richt. We're going to get ready to wrap up here in just a second. Now, you can check out the DawgNation video channels coming up later on. You'll see the trophy presentation, the cool belts. We showed those to you a little earlier. I'm going to bring my good friend Kaylee Mansell back on right now. We'll get ready to wrap this up here tonight. Kaylee going to come over and be part of that with us here. We'll get ready to wrap this up, and we'll show you the belts one more time, the championship here. How about this prize going out to somebody here tonight? First of all, the bowling balls will be given out, these championship belts. Kaylee, do you know how much I'd love to be able to put this belt over my shoulder and just walk out of here like the champion that I am?
I was going to say, knowing you're a WWE guy, it totally makes sense that you would want to keep one of these in your home. So like they need to have an honorary Brandon Adams award. But yeah, I could see you rocking one of these. I mean, if you want to do it, I'll hide you.
And by the way, how much was that
bowling ball? That's what I would want.
If I had this bowling ball, I would put it over the mantle in my living room. I just tell you right now, this would be a place of prominence in my home if I had that. So we've been together for some of this. You've seen different things than I have. What will stand out for you as a part of like the memories that you have of this night?
Honestly, my conversation with Jadyn Richt, because, I mean, kudos to her for coming on, only 11 years old. She was a champ about it. She's a big inspiration in all of this, and even just talking to her a little bit before, so well-spoken. You can tell how much love she has for her grandfather, so I think that's one of the things that's going to stick with me, because I'm a big sister myself, and I have a sister that's around her age. I don't know if she could have gone on air, so to have that moment with her, to be there with her, I guess my sisterly instincts just kicked in, and so it was really special.
Well, it's also important, too, because even as a young person, she knows that, hey, as she tells her story of her own battle with Crohn's disease, it does help us raise money. And look, human beings make sense of life through stories. And when Coach Richt tells his story about Parkinson's, or when Jadyn tells her story about Crohn's, it helps people connect with it. They relate to their own personal stories, and so many people in our audience have their own story about this too. And it really helps us. We're not shy about this. Our goal tonight is to raise a lot of money. Stories like that help us get there.
And honestly, too, I think it's amazing that they included her with this, with Parkinson's and Crohn's, because like you said, if you don't have it, you probably know someone that does. So it's a big outreach thing. And honestly, too, I think about, I have a strong relationship with my grandfather. We share a birthday. That's our thing in common. And for Jadyn and Mark to go through something that not anybody should have to go through, that bond that builds them together, you can tell that their relationship is so close. And, through this, I can tell that they've gotten closer, too.
All right, before we go, let's give you an update. So for the last 2 years, this event has been won, and I think safe to say dominated by Warren Brinson. Brinson's dominated this event, and he was bragging about it on social media even just a few days ago. So tonight, how about this? I don't know if you know this, but winners stay winning. Lawson Lucky, 3 touchdowns on Saturday. Lawson Lucky currently winning this event right now. Now, there are more frames left, so we're not ready to call it just yet. After all, a lot of these players are fourth quarter players, so there's still plenty of chance for a comeback here. But for now, Lawson Lucky is winning this event fresh off a record-setting 3-touchdown day.
I'm I'm honestly surprised by that. I had a conversation with Mike before, and I was like, as someone that's from a small town where there's just a bowling alley, I figured a small town guy would win it. Lawson Lucky, a Gwinnett guy, so I thought maybe he's going to that mall or something, but no, he's putting in the work on the lane.
Yeah, he's finding a way to get it done, or either that, he's just a natural, right?
I have a question for you.
By all
Okay,
means.
so you've been walking up and down the lanes. You've seen the pairings. Which lane would you have want to bowl on tonight with the players intact?
That's a good question. So there was a lot of fun stuff. C.J. Allen and Jordan Hall, they were all kind of around Gunner, but it's really C.J. and Jordan kind of busting chops back and forth a little bit. Gunner was very kind of the people that are there. Some of the other guys are like ribbing each other a little bit, kind of right there in the middle of all of this. That's where I think the action was. But to go back to Lawson for a moment, he's got long frame, long arm. He had this whip motion with how he did it. I mean, it's like such a smooth delivery, almost like a pitcher, except it was underhanded, almost like a softball delivery, I guess. Yeah.
I wonder, I bet you a lot of these guys, the closest thing that they did to bowling growing up was playing Wii bowling, which can actually help you a lot with the spin. So I could see Lawson Lucky with, his family Wii bowling, maybe why he's got that little snap to it. Personally, I loved that Chris Cole and Justin Williams were with all of Rick's grandkids. I think it says a lot about the fun that they are. So that probably would have been my selection. But I love that DawgNation, our lane got Sokovia White.
And Scobie's been great. Okay, so, all right, Peyton Woodring. So Peyton Woodring, the Georgia kicker, has now made his way. Now, what's interesting is he's actually kicking the bowling ball tonight, which is a hard thing to imagine. He's actually doing that. He's a 159, which is not bad. How about a final thought before we go?
I mean, just the fact that we get to be a part of this, we're so privileged. I feel so grateful to be able to experience these moments with not just current players, former players, but so many special guests. And there's so much joy in the room, and knowing that it's all going towards a good cause. I mean, there's really nothing better than that. So I feel lucky each and every year that I get to be here. We get to put this on, and talking to Coach Richt. It almost makes me want to get emotional. He's such a great guy, so personable, and he's still kicking it.
I tell you what makes me emotional, the fact that Ernest Green just walked by, totally in full health, seems to be in good situation here, coming back from injury, played on Saturday, just walked by, is smooth and healthy, sounds like he may be ready to go for the second half of the season. I get emotional about that.
Knowing that the bye week is here too, you get that little extra bit of rest. Ernest was someone that I definitely thought they were saving till after bye week, so you got him. Oh, that's a good one back.
All right, so if you go to the DawgNation video channels later on, you'll see the belts awarded, the fun, and the final of all of this. On behalf of everybody at DawgNation, to those of you who've given, thank you so much. To the folks who are here, including our great sponsors, Pella Window and Door, Dr. Pepper, Jittery Joe's, Serve Pro, and all the other great companies represented here tonight, thank you so much for making this a great event. Obviously, a tremendous team of folks here on hand helping us make this happen. We could not do it. Kaylee, thank you for helping me get through this. I'm not exactly 100% these days, so I appreciate you doing that. It's put a strain on me tonight, but it's been a fun thing to be a part of.
It's really about me thanking you for trusting me to come on and do this.
Of course.
So I appreciate it.
Ultimate trust, infinite trust. And to Coach Richt and his family specifically, thank you so much to all of the Richts for allowing us to bring this to our audience here for DawgNation. It's a wonderful night for the Georgia football community. It is in service of a great cause. Parkinson's, Crohn's disease research, the Isaacson Center at UGA, leading the way on better treatments, eventually a cure. So one final time, ricksdawgbowl.com or the QR code on the screen. Please give if you can, and we'll celebrate a great triumph in the search for a cure to a disease that's touched so many. For now, we'll say goodbye. Thank you for being with us here on the third annual Chick-fil-A Dawg Bowl. We'll talk to you again soon, everybody.